feel like there's something going on that I really need to know.
I love the way how you're playing your card, mister. So you're my role model now. You're welcome.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Giving you live on our Young, Famous and African episode 1 recap. Listen, this season is a mad season. I watched it all the way through, so I'm going to give you probably a different perspective because I'm not going to do it episode by episode, which I normally do when I'm talking about Love is Blind. But this season was crazy. So we'll start with episode 1, and I really want to break down some stuff, and I want to focus more on the beef between Andile, and Diamond, and then the beef between Swanky and Annie, because those are the two main ones that we got introduced to on this episode. And then obviously we had some great introductions with Fantana and Bonang as well into the episode. And they obviously get filtered in through the course of the season. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of the what up. Lows, and for those of you who are returnees, you know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because streets out there are hot. There's some madness out there. Let's watch a bit more and then we'll get into conversation.
I like your suit.
He loves my suit. I'm his role model. This is not a compliment.
I mean, I need him to start crying about it. But anyway, listen. So Andile and Diamond's beef on this episode was really crazy. And the reason why is because Andile and Diamond obviously are meant to be quote unquote boys. I don't know how much boys they really are. And I'll tell you why I don't believe they're really that boys. Because when Nadia goes to speak to Andile earlier on before they have the party, he actually says, she asked him, did you ask him for any permission before you went and dated the mother of his kids? And he said, what permission do I need? Is that his mother? Is he her daddy? Now, that is not a response of somebody who considers Diamond to be his good friend. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So it's more that they're friends they're in a friendship group than actually being friends. And that's a completely different dynamic when you're in a friendship group, but not necessarily friends. Therefore, that's why he sees Zari as something he can go for, right? They're only friends via the show, but not friends in terms of actually in a relationship, maybe. If that makes sense, right? So for me personally, I look at it and I go, okay, no, if he's willing to move so mad and go after Zari, and I mean, the way he moved after Zari, there was one hug that they had. I said, even me, I was like, Charlie, you're not going to come in down after you done told Diamond, that was, I told that, well, I didn't tell Diamond anything, but, even after the Diamond situation, you're not thinking that this might be a bit too much. Let's have a little look,
Hey, it's too tight. Very weird. Thank you. That's very weird.
Let go. They ain't gonna let go. Like the tap was high. It was hard. The tap was hard. The hug was tight. You know what I'm saying? So clearly we know, and then also Zari let us know as well. Quite frankly, she fell for Andile. I was like, wait, you fell for Andile? Wait, what the? I knew there was chemistry. I knew you guys were, a little bit freaky dicky. I knew there was a little bit of sex chemistry. Okay, I knew a little bit of that was going on. But in terms of you guys falling for one another, I never saw that. But Zari saw that. And I feel like sometimes to myself, no, Zari likes to play games. No, Zari likes to play games. And I'll tell you why she likes to play games. Because this is the reason why Fantana, later on in the series, gets confused about Zari and Diamond's relationship. Because there's a part, and I hope, I don't know if I've written it down, there's a part where Zari is sitting down with Diamond, and she's sitting down with him, and she's holding his arm as if they're still together. Like she's got a whole arm wrapped around his arm, holding it like they're still together. Okay, so for me, it's like, well, if you guys are not together, why the hell are you holding his arm like that? It's way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. So you're causing confusion for the rest of the team and everybody else. So for me, it's like there's too many things. For me, Zari and Dile are two sides of a coin. They are game players. Okay? Zari's trying to make Diamond a little bit jealous while simultaneously moving mad. And Dile likes to be involved in the game and in the shits. He likes to be in the streets and playing around. And Dile is the most dangerous character on the show. Do you think Diamond's good? Okay? DJ Naked, he's good. Okay, Luis, he's good. You're gonna see him later on. Tubaba, Okay, but you can see him coming. You don't see Andile coming. That's the madness of it. So the situation between Andile and Diamond is really about this whole quote unquote, are we actually friends? That's where the violation actually is. And for me, I don't think they're actually friends. I think Diamond is using the whole friend vibe to cock block Andile from going after Zari, the mother of his kids, right? It's a power move. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see someone like Andile go after you don't want to see Andile and talk to him and know that he's piping your girl. It's too close to home. That's the reality. That's the reality, right? Because she's just a mother of your kids, right? You're not dating her. You in fact, you end up dating someone else. You were complimenting Fantana on this series episode. So the beef between you and Andile is simply about proximity. And then you start using proximity. Oh, you're my brother, and that's why, and using that as an excuse. But Andile does not see you as a brother. Okay, he don't see you as a brother. So want to let that thing go straight away. All right. So for me personally, with Andile and Diamond, I think on this particular episode, Andile actually even left the party early. Because he felt like Diamond was doing too much and the energy in the room was too much. Personally, I'm like, yo, you know what you came into, Andile. You knew that there's going to be some, like, as boys, we know, even if I'm not your boy, this is going to cause some blowback if I do decide to, have a conversation with you. It is going to cause some blowback. You know that. So there's no, like, I didn't know, I'm new to the game. No, Andile, you knew. Okay, if Diamond starts dating the mother of your kids, there's gonna be some blowback, and you know that. So you have to handle that and not make excuses and walk out and take your jacket off. And I was like, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, Andile. You're doing too much. Okay, all right. Let's move on then. Let's go a little bit about Annie and Kani's relationship.
Bullshit, like it's kind of and me, I'm downstairs. I'm like girl next door. I speak my pidgin.
All right, Annie and Kani's relationship is quite interesting, and I'll tell you why they're interesting, because I never thought they would ever be friends. All right, their beef from season 1 was mad, and but then to see them obviously work it out and eventually become really close friends, beautiful. We love to see it, right? We love to see it. Okay, let me just move this out of the way because it's annoying me now. We love to see that kind of stuff, right? But I think for me personally, one thing that I noticed is that later on in the season, how Kanye and Annie, their relationship deteriorates is actually based on episode 1. There's some things that Kanye says that makes sense as to why this relationship, why I felt like the relationship was never really true. It was dependent upon, a very tenuous foundation of friendship. It was based upon a common enemy, or I don't mean a common enemy, let me say a shared moment, okay, from season 1, where they had a heart-to-heart and they could see each other, and you could see that she was getting affected by Tubaba. But the point for me was, I felt like Kanye made a friendship with Annie because she had Annie's ear. So long as she had Annie's ear, she had power in that relationship. The moment that she didn't have Annie's ear in the relationship, that relationship diminishes, because it's about power for Kanye and not about the actual relationship personally. Okay. Now, I think also Kanye is a little bit like myself. Okay. A little bit like myself, who is a bit more avoidant, okay, in the way she moves. Now, there was something that happened. I wanted to show you a clip of something to prove what I'm saying. And here we go. Let's play this clip.
It's literally industry. I've never quite understood her. So if I cannot figure you out, I create a distance because I can't figure out who you are. And that makes me uncomfortable.
Sorry about that. I paused it there. So what she said, it was really powerful. She said, look, when I can't figure you out, I create distance between us because I'm feeling uncomfortable. So watch it out for the rest of the season. If you're watching it now, watch out for the rest of the season, how the relationship between her and Annie changes. Once Kanye cannot figure somebody out, that's it. Relationship's going to be kaput. That's what happened with her and Banag. That's why she can't keep a relationship. She creates distance. So now, whenever she can't understand something, that's what she's going to do. Okay. Now, what I loved about obviously Kanye and Annie's relationship is the support that that Kanye did give Annie in the beginning. Now, what was interesting was about Annie, because Annie becomes obviously the star of the show in this season because of her relationship with Tubaba. Right? Let's have a look. Let me get that up as well. So there's a part where
like
here you go.
he's a bad person. Like, oh, he brought all the kids into my marriage. That notion really, really pissed me off.
Why does she want people to know?
Now we found out obviously that their relationship, obviously, I keep saying obviously, but we found out in the relationship that he had, I think, 5 kids before he married Annie. So you know, he never cheated to get those kids. There were 5 before that, but obviously there's rumors of kids coming out of the woodwork. So, but he had 5 kids before that. But what they didn't say is how old she was when they married, or when he met her. Sorry. And you know, because that's a big thing. She was 15 or 16 when they met. But another thing also is the point that Kanye kind of picks up on Annie's situation is, hey, look, you know, why does Annie want to make it look like it's perfect? Well, the reality is she's been the culture. Culture makes you promote your marriage as perfect because you don't want any cracks to show to the rest of the world for them to use it against you. So you'd rather cover your partner and deal with things behind the scenes, which is why probably later on the episode 4, why it gets mad, because he doesn't do that. He doesn't protect his wife, Tubaba, right? But we see protection from we see protection from her to him, from Annie to Tubaba, right? She protects her husband. She makes sure she doesn't speak things that don't need to be spoken of. She makes sure she doesn't talk badly about him. She makes sure that, you know, she keeps limited information out there so that we don't have too much information to run on and to blow him out of the water. Unfortunately, he didn't do the same. Okay. All right. And I think that speaks volumes on the kind of relationship that they're in. Right. I think it speaks volumes. All right. So yes, I can understand why she would want a perfect, trying to promote a perfect marriage. And it's not easy when your relationship's in the public eye as well. Everybody wants to know every little detail. Hey, it's not every argument that couples have arguments. Sometimes couples go weeks without talking, days without talking. Right. But the whole world doesn't know that. The whole world doesn't know that part of your marriage. So, you know, it's not everything that wants to be out there. And I get that. I do understand where she's coming from. I do feel her pain in that regard. And I see where she's coming from in that respect in episode 1. Now, episode 1 also too, there was a beef between Annie and Swanky. We don't get told what the beef is, which is why it's really frustrating. I was so pissed at the fact that, and maybe the producers did this for, you know, so they can prolong the beef, which was dumb. But it was the question around what the beef was between Annie and Swanky, and then Nadia got dragged away because Nadia was going to ask questions about Annie and Swanky and what the beef was, which I thought was perfect. Great, ask that question, and then we get robbed of the opportunity. I was so pissed off. I wanted to see it. But yeah, let's have a look.
Look, I know like fake stuff, you know. So if I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking to you. If we're not vibing, we're not vibing. There's no in-betweens with me. Why am I saying hello to someone when we don't speak?
So that was the start of the beef, because actually when he came in, I mean, started a new beef in this moment. Because when Swanky came in the room, Swanky came in and started seeing everybody, saying, hey. And then Swanky literally ignored Annie. Now that was kind of rude. Can't lie to you. You don't have to. I know we're not talking, but we can be cordial, right? And we can keep our beef behind the scenes. But for you to do that, you kind of showed everybody there's a beef. Do you get what I'm saying to you? You could have hugged him like, hey, you know, good to see you again. Kept him moving. It's called cordiality. Yeah, right? We don't actually like each other, but it's called cordiality. We don't need to see that, show everybody what we're beefing. You know what I mean? We're being cordial, right? And then we can beef behind the scenes. But Swanky and our good sis Annie are made for each other. They are both childish type of petty. You know, their pettiness knows no bounds, right? Later on, Annie comes to sit down and Swanky's sitting in the seat. She said, "That's my seat." He doesn't listen to her. You're sitting in my seat. He doesn't want to listen to her. He's ignoring her. This is like playground stuff. And then someone pushes somebody off the chair. Like, you know, remember those ones in school time where you're sitting in my seat, and then you push somebody. You're sitting in my seat. Get out of my seat. Like that's the beef that happened now between Annie and Swanky. You know what I'm saying to you? It's childish. It's like, yo, this is what kids do. And I think they're perfectly made for each other in that respect. And I can't wait to start breaking down their beef as well. That happened. So, but yeah, can you pulled away Nadia so she can't ask questions, because Nadia be the one. She'd be on it, you know. Investigator Nadia. If one thing she gonna do is ask questions about why people are beefing. Okay, she gonna get the bottom. She gonna get to the bottom of it. Okay, she gonna get to the bottom of it indeedy. So yeah, it's a Mazzoline in that respect, you know, to see that happen as well. And then we obviously have little tidbits here and there. That's pretty much the episode. We have little tidbits here and there in terms of getting the new people coming through. We get an introduction to Bonag, and let me just say something. I don't like her energy, and maybe because I've watched the season, I don't like her energy. But then when I listened to her actual opening statement about how she introduced herself, I said, no wonder I don't like her. I don't like people. I don't like people with very bad attitudes. I don't care how famous you are. Bad attitude is ugly to me. You know what I mean? If you listen to her opening statement, let's listen to this. This is Bonag.
I'm very stubborn. I'm very selfish, very self-centered. Most people could call me very bossy, very mean, quite intimidating. Kind of the success that I've amassed comes with a little bit of discipline. So I'm quite an alpha female.
I mean, stubborn, okay, but self-centered, selfish. Is that how we're introducing ourselves? At least give me something to blend it with. You know, give me some good stuff to blend it with. You ain't even give me nothing to blend it with. You just told me to literally blend it in negativity. So I'm gonna see you negatively, right? So that's giving me bad vibes and bad energy. So I couldn't see her in any other way. And then we see her during the course of the season. I'm like, so bad vibes and bad energy. I'm not about it. You know what I mean? We don't need to see that. That's not what it's about. And then we get an introduction to Fantana, who is very beautiful, by the way. In fact, they're all beautiful. Don't get it twisted. Listen, they're all attracted to me. But Fantana got that body that I like. Okay. She got that body that I like. Okay. Okay. Yeah. She got that body that we like. Okay. Yeah.
Big Phantom, my love. Wow. Fantana is my friend. We met in.
Now, obviously, Fantana, you know, she ends up having a little bit of a relationship with Diamond later on. And we hear Diamond actually say a little, you know, he likes her body, you know, that she's wearing a dress or the dress is wearing her. He's not sure, but he likes her body, whatever, right? And it's quite interesting as well. So, I mean, he said he likes her body. He didn't say he likes her face. You notice that? Just saying. Yeah. Okay. So, but no, a good smooth introduction. And then she gets right into the thick of it because she starts asking questions about, wait, who sleeps with who? Nadia slept with this. And Zari slept with this person, and because someone threw a Diamond threw Andile underneath the bus by saying and Zari by saying, well, Zari and Andile are dating. How old are you, Diamond? How old are you, Diamond? Why are we doing that? How old are we, sir? You're not even clean. Last season you was here with Nadia when Nadia's cool with the girls. Come on now, your hands are not clean. Let's not do that, bro. The hypocrisy is smelling. It's stinking. It's making mace. Yeah. So yeah, no, there's a lot that happened on this episode, and I enjoyed it, and a good little setup to what's going to happen for the rest of the season as well. So watch out for obviously Fantana and Diamond's relationship. But Nag gets into a little bit of a little sign as well. Swanky and Annie's beef continues. Andile and Diamond, you know, we get more of a conclusion to their story as well. And so, yeah, it's going to be a good season. It's going to be a good season. But this is a nice little breakdown. Watch out for our lives that we do every day to talk about young, famous, and African, where we do specific moments in the season as well and break it down. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again soon, guys. Much appreciation.